Hey everybody, it's Steve again with Trials Tuesdays here on XBLA Fans. We've got a couple of really great tracks, some great skill games, some Supercross, a great RedLynx pick. So without further ado, let's get started, gang. This first track, I love these snow-themed tracks. Isn't this cool? It's called Frigidaire. Now the basis of this one is your tank, which is represented by the bar at the top of the bike there, fills up only when you're in air. So I was a little bit of a jerk and recorded one of my friend's playbacks, so he'll probably hate me for this, but there were a lot better ones, but I just didn't want to spoil the whole track for everybody. Basically, again, when you're in the air, if the tank fills up. When you're when you're on the ground, the tank drains each time you hit the gas. So it's kind of a neat take on things. It makes it sort of like the out of gas game, but something a little bit different. So I hope you really like this one. This one is a little harder for me than I would have liked, but hey, I'm just a casual player. You're going to see my marker here in a minute, and you're going to see that my friend beats it. That first marker is me, combatant Steve, and the other marker is my friend. Now he thinks he's going to get some extra fuel, and I guess he does get a little bit by going backwards, but it really doesn't bonus him that much. He was just trying to beat me by a few feet, which is typically what we do. We're not competitive against other players on the internet or anything, but we'll definitely try to take each other out. So he gets this and then rolls. Oh, save it. No, he's done for. All right. Next up, this is really cool. I don't know how the author did this, but you can actually flip the bike around. It's called Project Spin, and this is really freaking cool. I really was terrible at it, and if you look at the top 100, there are a lot of people who have faults on this track, but which isn't normal in the top 100, but this is so much fun. So you use the right stick to control whether the bike spins horizontally, and then the rest of your controls are the same pretty much, and it's tough. You can also use, I think, the right stick up or down will kick the rear tire out a little bit, which you'll see later on here as the rider goes out and kind of rubs his tire against something along the way. This one, yeah, it's a lot of fun, but if you're a casual rider, you're going to find that there are just moments where you might toss the controller aside. And by aside, I mean across the room because you got frustrated. Not that I've ever done that. I'm not a rage person, but I grew up with two older brothers who did it. There we go. There's the tire kick out. You also get multipliers for hitting those little targets. Each one will increase your multiplier by 1, and then you get a total score based on, I think, the number of flips you do plus the distance traveled, and how many objects you can rub your back tire against objects as well, obviously. This part is what killed me and what really frustrated me, because I couldn't figure out where to go, how to do it. And even watching this replay now, this is the second time I've watched it, I still am like, well, I'm not going to remember that when I go back to play. But to each their own. I guess the author wanted it to be super hard, and super hard it is. You saw him spin the bike there, or her, could be a girl, I guess. Saw him spin the bike while you were stationary. That's not, it's hard to do, because basically the rider likes to lean, and a lot of times he'll fall over, but you can always try it. I guess maybe if you're better than me, then you can do it. So anyway, how are you guys doing? I'm doing well. Oh, hey, I had a great suggestion. If RedLynx is listening, and if you as fans agree with this, please post comments on YouTube, on our Facebook page, facebook.com/XBLA fans, on our this post at xblafans.com. Here's my idea. Community sanctioned example tracks. So that basically means somebody like this, they can release an example track of this, and you can download it, and you can make other tracks using the same principles as this. You can twist the rider, you can do whatever. Things like these prefab objects in this paperboy game, or even the paperboy game itself, you could release as an example track, and then people could make other paperboy levels. You know, and I don't know what it would take to do that, and I am a programmer by trade, but not, I don't work for RedLynx, so I don't know what all their engine can and cannot do, and what they can do with the limited budgets they have, all that kind of stuff. But I'll tell you what, to see community-based example tracks, then we could start having common assets. People build, like, I love Lukey 19's condemned quad bikes. Well, then somebody can reuse that quad bike in another track, and you can do lots and lots of quad bike tracks. You can do lots of paperboy tracks. Whatever it may be, community things, even just objects. If we have a community example tracks, somebody could take all of the objects that they've saved in their favorites that they've built, stuff them all into one quote-unquote example track, and then somebody else downloads it, saves those objects into their favorites, bada boom, bada bing. They have all these prefabs ready to go. So that's my suggestion. I love this little track, by the way. This is Easy Rider. This is the fix to it. The replay's still bugged, though, but essentially what you do is you rock it off the bike, you bail, and you hang on to this tire, and you move the tire back and forth to collect coins. And the replay is bugged in the sense that I get a lot more than what you see here. Like my score is like actually 800 or something. I brought this one in because it really hasn't got a whole lot of downloads, and yet it's a lot of fun. It's got a few little weird bugs, but it's so much fun to play. We must have played this 20, 30 times, and it's remained in my playlist, which is saying something, because a lot of times I'll get rid of stuff that's in my playlist after I record it, just because I have so many tracks. But this one's a lot of fun, so take a chance to download this one, especially if you're more of a casual player. You just want some random fun on a Friday or Saturday night. Here you go. Yeah. So next up, it's a trials track, or not trials track. This is a Supercross, and because the replays were bugged, this is me playing, and it's not my best run. I'm going to tell you that right now. You're going to see that I I crash twice. So make all the jokes you want. Ha ha, you suck at trials, blah, blah, blah. I hear it all the time. And, it doesn't faze me. So make your jokes. But I just like this little trials track, or I keep calling it trials track. This little Supercross track. It's small, it's short, but when you're playing with friends and you want to have a fun little time, you want those simpler tracks a lot of times, especially if you're a casual player like me. Now, I've got some really great, harder ones coming up at the end of this and at the future series that you'll love. And here's the first one. This is Lord of the Rings Isengard by Dr. Ed. Did Mr. Ed get his doctorate or something? I don't know. Anyway, this is really freaking cool. There's an ant back there, the tree people, and you're going to see another one later, and Isengard just comes right over the shadow here, over the shadow. You see it kind of emerge as you play through the track, and there are a bunch of these Lord of the Rings Supercross tracks by Dr. Ed, and they're all awesome. They're really long. This one, a really good rider, the number one on the leaderboards, took him a little over 2 minutes. And, they're probably not for the faint of heart. If you're going to play this with casual players, you might just play this and maybe one other track in the set versus, a full 7 tracks, or make all the other ones easy and short. But it is so cool. Now, I'm going to feature probably one of his each week for the next few weeks, because there are several of his Lord of the Rings tracks, like I said. There's Moria, there's Minas Tirith, there's Rivendell, and the Shire. And there might be one more. But each one of them has a really cool, fitting Lord of the Rings aspect to it. And yet, at the same time, it very much feels like Trials. So this is going to be our challenge of the week. We want to see what you can do score-wise, if you can beat the top person on the leaderboards, or if you can even make it into the top 100. I know I can't. If you can, again, you're welcome to post on Facebook. You can tweet it to us, at XBLA fans. You can post your comment on YouTube or in the post at xblafans.com. Let us know if you beat it. We'll give you a shout out. Also, shout out to my brother-in-law, Middle Kinney. That's his gamer tag. He is the one who helped me find and test a lot of these tracks. So thanks much. We'll see you guys next week with more Trials Tuesday.